Hey everyone, Aja from Garden Days. It's been a long 6 months, but I'm finally back in my garden after traveling the whole winter season and some of spring. We're here in higher elevation where things get started a bit slow and our spring is a little later. Things are just now starting to come out of dormancy. Guess I'll start over in this garden area where I was watering. Still need to clean up the garden, but I just wanted to show you what's leafing out or what's coming up. Now the tulips came up earlier before I even got back, as well as the daffodils, but the rabbits got to those. There are no blooms left on any of the tulips, which they're probably going to be spent anyways. The Granny Smith apple is leafed out. I remember when I first got this, it was just a twig. Now it's starting to limb out. It looks awesome. I have one lone tulip that hasn't bloomed yet, and because it's in this cage, the rabbits weren't able to get to it. That's under the Granny Smith. We're gonna continue on. As you can see, there are more daffodils and tulips. I planted this plum last season. It's a Santa Rosa. It already is leafing out and looking good. Hopefully it gets some size to it this year. Oh, and the Shasta daisies are starting to come up. Now we all know, depending on the location, things can bloom later than others, being the same plant. And it looks like these tulips and daffodils are getting a late start, so we might see some blooms from those. No signs of life from this fig yet. I don't see anything else coming up. And this plum here is just now starting to leaf out. This middle garden bed here, nothing is really coming up. The only signs of life that I see is this heuchera. There's little green leaves coming through. I need to clean up the rest of that. Although we do have a couple more days of cold weather coming, and one day is supposed to be below freezing, so I might just wait on the cleanup, because obviously that's going to help protect the new growth. In this garden bed here, I have a Fuji apple, which is starting to leaf out. And also over here is a peach, which is almost completely missed out. That actually bloomed. I saw it on camera. I wasn't here for it. It had beautiful pink blooms all over it. And look, down here, you can see that the yarrow is starting to come up and it's spread itself. That'll be awesome. I found the tag for that plum over there. This is the burgundy plum, which goes to this one here. I'll stick it under this rock. So actually, let me stick it under this rock so I know where it is. I've planted boxwood in this garden before, and this is the only one that's ever survived. It's under this salt bush here. I have no clue. I don't understand it. I had, I think, 3 more here, and they all died off. And I'll show you on the other side of the garden, there are 2 other boxwoods that I got last season. They were bigger, but I only paid $5 for them. Unfortunately, I don't think they survived. We can walk this way. This is a birch tree, but I don't see any signs of life yet. I'm not even sure if this is still alive. It's possible, but it doesn't seem so. There was growth coming from the base of the plant, but I don't want it to grow at the base. Obviously, the mums that I put in are dead. I'm gonna clean them up and cut them back because they should come back. And the forsythia, the 2 bushes back there, are starting to leaf out. Let's see. The small juniper is, of course, doing good. Juniper does well here. We have winter creeper here, which is starting to leaf back out. I was worried about that. There's a princess and, or is it Prince and Princess Holly? It is completely dead. I'm not sure if it'll come back or not. I thought hollies were evergreen, but I might be mistaken. We have that rhododendron back there, and that should come back, hopefully, fingers crossed. There's a fruit tree there. I don't see any signs of life. I think that one might be dead, though. It was a 3-in-1, and we went through transplant shock last year and it didn't do well. And I thought it had died last year, but I wanted to give it a chance. So if I don't see any growth from it or any buds, then I'll just go ahead and pull that and replace it. Another juniper here. And of course, the barberry, because it's native to this area, is doing amazing. Now I transplanted these yuccas here and only one seemed to survive. So I'll pull the rest of them. Look it. I actually have some alliums coming up. How cute. But the rest of my alliums, unfortunately, got nibbled on by rabbits, which is weird because I didn't think they liked alliums. Maybe it's rodents like rats or something that are eating them. Anyways, I had some of the giant purple alliums and they dug those bulbs up and ate them. I planted this rosemary. I just broke it off. It's dead. It didn't survive. But I do have 2 other ones, and the ones that were in a sheltered spot look like they got some burn, but they survived, so I'm happy about that. More tulips coming up and another allium. I have a rose here and a hot poker. I definitely need to clean up the rose, and hopefully it's still alive. We'll see after I clean it up. This was the juniper that I transplanted from out on the property. I just grabbed a small one and it didn't survive, so I will replace that. I think what I'm gonna do with these pots is just do annuals. Usually I don't like to plant annuals because we have a shorter season here, so I don't get to enjoy them as long. But something's gotta be better than what's in these now. This juniper survived here, but I think I'm gonna transplant that out into the landscape. And there's another rosemary there. That one actually looks good, but it was sheltered. I have this glass divider here, and then there's another rosemary. I forgot about that one. This one looks really good. This juniper, no, it's dead. So I'm gonna take those out. This is another holly, which I'm not sure. It doesn't feel dead, but you never know. And then we have this carpet of thyme. I'm gonna use this more in the landscape because it doesn't require as much attention. Obviously, it's drought tolerant. And, oh, I need to get in here, do some weeding. But I would love to do this on borders since I know it does well here. Yeah, it just makes a nice carpet. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna focus on annuals in the pots. That way I know I have to replace them every year and I'm not worried about them. I don't wanna spend the money on bushes and perennials and put them in pots and it not survive because I'm not here for the winter to water them if it gets too dry. This is a firecracker penstemon and it's starting to come up. Now with this, I found this in the forest and brought it back and planted it here, and it's done well because it's a native. Got a juniper here, which does well in this area. Another winter creeper. I see green limbs and little baby leaves that are starting to come out. The other one definitely seems like it has a jump start on it. It is a sunnier location. And I'm going to be changing things around. Like I'd mentioned in a past video, I want to be a little more thoughtful and planned about how I lay things out. Usually what I do is just say, okay, that'll work there, and plop it in the ground. I have a common honeysuckle here, and it's starting to leaf out. Need to go back and clip off these dead limbs or vines. Yeah, a lot of cleanup. Of course, everything that's native is doing well. I want to trim back these salt bushes this year, kind of hedge them, and see if they thicken up. That would be nice. And there's a juniper there that was here when I bought the property. I planted this desert golden apple last season. It's starting to leaf out. That's nice. It seems like fruit trees do the best for some strange odd reason. They take a while to get established, but they do the best here. I haven't had as much issues with fruit trees. Right next to it is the Rocky Mountain penstemon. It's a beautiful plant. It's native to this area, so it doesn't require a lot of maintenance or fertilizer. It gets these pretty purple blooms on it with tall spears. That evergreen died. I just don't seem to have very much luck with evergreens. I'm gonna have to do something different if I want to plant more of those. And we have the aronia berry there. This is going on its 3rd year, so hopefully it leaps this year. It's just kind of sat there. I mean, it's done fine, but it hasn't grown much. I have another rose bush I need to clean up because the new growth is starting to come through. And I planted more tulips and daffodils through here, which it looks like some of the daffodils are already spent. Got this plum tree here that's going to leaf out, and Bridal Memories lilac, which this is going on its 3rd or 4th year. It looks like it has blooms on it. I'm excited about that. Finally. And then also we have the cherry tree here, and this is a weeping cherry tree. My friend came in and there was a big, huge patch of budworms here that she took her burner and burned them off, so that way the predators could come in and clean that up. Oh, they missed the spot here. There's more budworms. I'm gonna have to go in and burn those as well, because I don't want them to kill this tree. But I'm glad it's starting to leaf out. This is one of the beds that I just kind of plop things into, and things are starting to grow here. I forgot what this was. Oh, it was a crab apple. This is a crab apple that's already bloomed and is starting to leaf out. This pine tree here survived. You can see the one past it did not. It's got some new growth coming on. I'm excited to see it's doing well. It seems like this lilac is having a slower start than the other one. The other one's already has top growth, but this one is actually growing from the base. And I might go in there and dig some of this up and put it in different places, but I see the buds. So, oh, this one's starting to swell. Yay. Can't wait till these get bigger. No signs of life from the red tip photinia. I have two of these, one here and one over there. And the one in the middle is a St. John's wort. And I don't see any leaves or anything just yet. This is what it is right here, the sunburst. I hope this survived because I really like this plant. The maple here still hasn't leafed out, but those stems, oh no, that looks dead. So I'm not sure. I don't see any growth. That might have died off. I can't seem to get maples to do well here. There is the other pine. And this is a different kind here. I forget what the name is, but the leaves, it shouldn't be doing this. It's like it died. So right here are where I planted the boxwoods and the arborvitae, and they died. Luckily, they were only $5 a piece when I bought them, but I don't think I was here long enough because it was the end of the season and they didn't get watered in enough, is what I'm thinking. And look, my very first pear tree is starting to leaf out. The wind's starting to pick up. This one is the Hood European pear. So I'm excited about that one. This is a yew, and I'm gonna have to replace this, I believe, because it died off last season. I mean, it feels like it's still alive. Well, we'll see. I'll give it till the end of spring and see if anything happens. These were the Japanese boxwoods, and this is Julia Jane. I think these are the ones that stink. But yeah, it looks completely... Oh, well, wait, what's going on there? Oh no, that's alive. Huh. All right, well, I'll definitely get some water on that and cut it back and see what happens. Never know with plants, you know, just give them a chance and maybe something will happen. Yeah, that arborvitae looks totally dead. Let's see if the same thing's happening here. Any green leaves? No, they look, this one looks completely dead. I don't see anything. But you know, I can shear it back and see what happens. Let's see how, the limbs feel fine. They're not, I mean, they don't just break. Yeah, they're bendable, so we'll see. Right here next to it is my cherry tree. I really hope this survives, but I've been having issues with it. I've had some limbs, obviously, that I had to cut back because they died off. So last season I started fertilizing with a store-bought fertilizer. I used to just use compost tea, and it worked okay, but I think the plants do need the fertilizer, and the fertilizer I get has sulfur because we have high alkaline soil here. So this is a nectarine here. It is the Desert Delight, and it's starting to get some leaves. Yay! Like I said, fruit trees, except the cherry. I don't know what it is about the cherry. Maybe they like more acidic soil, and I should put some sulfur or more sulfur down below. It's still early, so I need to give things time to actually come out of dormancy. Now, this is a mugo pine, and it shouldn't be dormant, obviously, but it's died off on certain parts. There's one limb here that's still good, actually two. There's one down here. So I might cut this back. Let's see. Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that back and leave the good growth. I might actually pull this up and transplant that into a pot where I can take better care of it for the season. And then once it starts to grow, then I can plant it back out. but I want to redo this whole bed. There's a lot of beds that I'm going to redo. That was a fir tree, but it did not survive. Nothing here but natives. Same around here. Yeah, a lot of garden cleanup. And I'm gonna start raising my garden beds. Usually I just plant in the native soil and add amendments, but I want to take nice, fresh garden soil and just top off 2 to 3 inches on all these beds. You'll have a lot of room for planting. I'm not doing anything with this whole bed here, and not really this bed either. The only thing in here is this black lace elderberry, which looks like some is coming up. I don't know, yeah. So I need to cut this back and hope it survives. This is going on year 3, and it struggled last year. There's a newly planted beds over there. I haven't really done anything with this bed except that pine tree. And I planted out this bed last season for my birthday. And I did some black-eyed Susans, which they're not starting to come up yet. And that's the fern leaf bush. And I planted 2 of those. And then we have the double orange quince, which is starting to leaf out. Awesome. I really wanted this plant, so I hope it does well. That one over there looks like it's having a slow start, but I do see little tiny leaves. This is another bed I need to lay in soil and also mulch better. But it was a new bed that I just added in. This is another fruit tree. I think it's a nectarine. And we have another one over there. We've got catmint or nepeta all through here. And it looks like it's starting to come up, which I know this is a pretty hardy plant. There's only 2, these ones here, that don't show signs of life, and I did water them in. Did I say these were nectarines? I believe so. Let's see. And this is the flavor top nectarine, which also has leaves. Oh, I missed 2 plants. Right here, there was a sedum and a yellow coneflower. I don't see anything there. But after I do this garden tour, I'm gonna go in and water everything. Oh, the sedum over here does look like it has growth. It does, right there. Awesome. I have to be careful with sedum. The rabbits seem to want to eat that. The only thing in these are the daffodils, which are starting to come up, and another set over there, but it looks like some have bloomed already. I have a cactus here, which is native, and yarrow, which is also native to this area. I can't remember if this is a special variety or just the white. I wanted to show this. This is the black-eyed Susans, and they should come back. Then I have a golden privet here. I think that, ooh, what is that? Hold on. What is that? Right there. Ew, that looks creepy. Creepy crawly. It looks like some kind of baby centipede. That's what it might be, which are good for the garden, so I won't mess with it. So this is a heavenly bamboo, and look, it's starting to leaf out. That's awesome. Back to what we were doing. I have some daffodils coming up here. And no signs of life from the privet yet. I need to shear that back. And I have another privet over here with 2 more of the black-eyed Susans and some bulbs coming up. I think they already have, actually. I have another heavenly bamboo there that's hopefully survived. We'll see. And then right next to it is the jujube, which does have thorns on it. This one is not supposed to be as thorny, but this usually doesn't bloom out until like late spring, sometimes even early summer. Oh, here's another one of those Rocky Mountain penstemon that's starting to leaf out. Right there is a nectarine that I had over there, not even in the garden, and I had it for about, I think, 3 years. It was one of the first trees that I planted other than an apple, and I just never did really well, but it wasn't on a watering system like the rest of the plants, so I decided to transplant it over here so it could get more water, and it did not like the move. I don't think it's still alive. Let's see, yeah, you can say it's pretty much dead. So I will replace this season. Thought I was done, but you know what? I forget about things. There's another jujube here. And last season, this started getting little sprouts from the roots. And you can see this does have little tiny thorns, but This one, I think, comes from the rootstock, so it's a different jujube, and this one is very thorny. Although it did have tiny little fruit on it last season, so I thought to just let one of these grow and then trim the rest of them back. But I don't want it to take away from this one. Ooh, look at that thorn. So I guess on the branches it has bigger thorns. But so yeah, I'll chop those back. Okay, we have this front garden here that I have to talk about, and then we'll hit up the vegetable garden, which I have a lot of perennials in, and we'll see what's coming up. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure, but dianthus are usually perennial and they'll come back, but I might have to cut them back. They might be completely dead, I'm not sure. They usually do come back. So we'll see. This is a native here, which is a globe mallow, and I think is beautiful. It does need to get trimmed up quite a bit. All these old stalks or branches. So I've had these lavender for probably almost 2 years, not quite. And when I got back last season, they still looked kind of good. I mean, they weren't dead looking like this. So I don't know if these survived. I'll cut them back and see. It doesn't look like it though, but look. We have a little blackberry bush here, and there's some growth coming from the bottom. I'm gonna cut back all the old growth because I don't think this is the kind that flower on old growth. Oh wow, it's even spreading over here, which I'm good with. Look at that. It should get more protection under this branch here. This is the back of the bed here with the Buddha. And is the periwinkle starting to come up? Oh, look at the seed heads. Oh, ow, those are pokey. Ouchie, ouchie. Anyways, yeah, see? These leaves here means it's starting to come back up. I'm hoping this gets established and spreads here. We have more yarrow here, and I don't think that's the common kind. Last season, the rabbits, for some reason, had chewed it down, and it never really bloomed. And I have sedum there that also rabbits ate. And I don't see any signs of those. It might be too early though. And this is deodar cedar. Isn't that beautiful? I think this is going on its 4th year, but it was really small. It was down to here when I bought it, but now look at it. It's almost as tall as I am, and it's got some dark cones growing on it, which is awesome. I hope this is established enough and it leaps. Should leap soon. There's my Buddha that was snow covered. I have another heavenly bamboo right there. Not sure if that one survived. I don't see any signs of life. And there is a blueberry here. Oh, okay. No, that's not. That still may be alive. It's too early. And like I pointed out earlier, they're daffodils, and there's even a tulip growing there. I think that's it. Most of the plants on the deck I should have moved off, but I didn't, and they died. But I do have these that were not on the deck, and I'm surprised that they actually lived. But I'm gonna transplant these out into the garden, or I don't know. I might not. I might leave that in there. And there's another juniper there. Here, I think this is going on its 3rd year, so hopefully it does amazing things this year. But it is still alive. Look, the little leaves that are coming up. And I'm excited about this yellow trumpet vine. I wanted to grow up this, and I am gonna paint the deck and all the wood to match. I think it'll look more cohesive if everything's painted the same. Right now there's a lot of different woods. But I'll leave the juniper limbs bare like that because I like the natural look of those. I want to add more in so the vine has something to grow up and fill out. It's saying it's supposed to rain this weekend. We got a little sprinkle earlier today and some yesterday, but the clouds look pretty intense right there, so maybe we will get harder rain. That would be nice. I'm sure the plants will enjoy that. But anyways, that's the front garden beds. Oh, the wind feels like it's starting to pick up, so I better hurry up. But anyways, this used to be the laundry room part garden tool shed, but I want to turn it into just a garden shed period and move the laundry into a different place. And I want to put potting benches here, so I'll have a place to actually pot things up and just sit them there. I won't have to constantly move them, but this is going to be a process. But I'm excited about that. Here is an overview of the veggie garden, and last season I planted in a lot of perennials. Let's see what's already starting to come up. Look at the rhubarb. It always does so well, and it has blooms on it with kind of a chartreuse green color. That's pretty. I think I'm gonna plant more of this. It seems to do really well. All right, we'll start here. There's blackberries here. Nothing's going on yet. This is my oldest apple tree, which I believe is a gala. It did have blooms on it earlier, but I think the cold snap kind of killed those off. Here's one here. Hopefully the cold weather doesn't bother. That's coming up. Like I said, we only have one night that's supposed to get to 31, so hopefully that won't affect it. The only thing green here is the almond tree, which I have 2 of these planted. Actually, the one that I thought was a nectarine out there, I think is an almond tree. Oops. But we have this goji berry here, which is kind of native to this area, so it looks awesome. It's doing well. Doesn't need much help. Then I have raspberries and blackberries here. One grape that's a Thompson grape. I'm not sure. I just planted it there because it got a little growth at the bottom last season, and I thought it was dead, but it wasn't. Then more blackberries here. No signs of life from the other one, but this one does have some life at the bottom. These look pretty dead, so I'm gonna cut all this back. This grew last year, huh? Weird. So maybe it doesn't fruit on the old growth. I thought it did, but we'll see. This is my oldest patch of asparagus, and Michelle said she already nibbled on a few pieces of this and it was good. But I'm probably just gonna let it go. I don't know, that looks really good. And you can eat asparagus fresh, except like this. It turns into a fern, so you don't wanna eat it then. It gets woody. But these here look good, especially that one. Ooh, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll grab some later. I had another old patch here, and I broke it up so that way I could divide it and add it further on, because I want this all to be asparagus here. But you can see some of it coming up. There's a little baby one there. These aren't as old, so it might take longer. Oh, this is another old patch here. I think this is what I got it from. So, need to cut all this back. Oh, look at that asparagus. That looks really good right there. And this one here, oh, there's a little asparagus growing in it. This one here is a native wildflower. I forget what it was. I just opened up a wildflower packet and just spread it through here. But that and this, ooh, weed, was the only thing that came up and actually did well. It is escaping me. It's not garlic. It's not onions. They're small. They kind of grow clumpy like garlic does. Why can't I think of it? Anyways, I took some of what I grew last year and planted it in these rows here, and it's starting to come up. Oh, some more of the asparagus. So this should grow better this year. I'm not sure how far I went down. I think maybe that was the last one. I don't see any more here. I am definitely having a brain fart. I can't remember what those are. This is looking good. It is a native rose, and it's just low growing and ground cover. That's why I leave it here, just to grow, because it looks nice and it has little white flowers on it. Nothing really to report over here. I'm gonna redo this garden bed. I'm gonna grow my tomatoes and stuff on that trellis there. But look, this apple tree is 1 year younger than the one I just showed you, and it has blooms on it. Oh, I really hope that cold weather doesn't bother these. Would be nice to have a few apples. But like I said, I have to be better about fertilizing. I want to show you something. Look at this patch of onions. What I did is I took some old onion bulbs and I planted them in the ground, and this is what I got. They just come back year after year and they just grow. So I just leave them. You can eat the scapes on those, or the flower heads. They're good, and you can use these as green onions. They're really tasty, but I just leave them alone, and they just come back year after year. So this is my herb garden, and I have chives growing here. The thyme hasn't come back yet. I thought I had sage around here somewhere. Oh, look, they have baby onions. They're spreading because I let the seeds drop from last year. The sage should come back, although that looks pretty dead. But normally it comes back. The rosemary, darn, I don't think that survived. That's a shame. I'll cut that back and see. But I had it for 2 growing seasons, and there's nothing else but room to plant stuff, which will be awesome. Oh, I messed with that rosemary. It smells so good. So this is my blueberry patch here, along with mint. And we have chocolate mint. It's starting to come back up. I need to get that cleaned up. I need to fertilize my blueberries, but it's still too early for those. I have different ones here. This is the Legacy, and this one is a blue crop high bush. Blue crop high bush. Oh, this one doesn't have a tag on it. Anyways, down here at the end, I have spearmint and sweet mint. The sweet mint, I don't see anything. But the spearmint, look at that. It's coming up. Nothing from the grapes yet. At least I don't see anything. Although I did underplant with strawberries. And look, they're starting to come up. One year I planted some strawberries in the front garden beds, and it survived throughout the whole winter. My neighbor said he came over and moved the snow, and they were there because he saw a little bit of green poking out. I do have strawberries planted in here as well, I forgot to mention, but no signs of life yet. Yeah, no grapes growing yet. I have these 2 rows of grapes, and then from this point on, I haven't really done anything. This season, I am going to go and cut this juniper back. I just don't want it to be in the middle of my veggie garden because they suck up a lot of water. I don't mind the junipers growing anywhere else, but my property has the least amount of junipers compared to my other neighbors. This is a new garden bed that I started last year but didn't really do anything with it. I still need to run drip to it and amend the soil. I just tilled it up. I really try not to do any tilling because I know it's bad for the soil, but our dirt and ground here is so compacted that if I do an initial tilling, it seems to work better. No signs of life from that fig yet. Look at this mullein. It seeded itself here, so I just let it seed itself every year. And there's the stalk from last year. So we have the honeyberry here. I need to get a different variety, but it's leafing out and seeming to do well. I'm happy about that. These are kind of like blueberries, but they're not as finicky as blueberries. But like I said, it does require a different variety to pollinate it, which is weird. Anyways, I'm gonna get something different this season. Last but not least, we have this Babic white peach that I planted last season. So hopefully we get some good growth out of it this year. But you know what? At least it's leafed out and it's doing well. I'm glad to be home, but I definitely have a lot of cleanup to do and watering things in. And I don't know if I'm going to actually finish my watering since the storm's coming. I'm just gonna wait on that. If we don't get any rain, then I'll come back tomorrow and just water everything in. Other than my fruit trees, I'm gonna have to say that this is the #1 plant, and it's the rhubarb. I'm gonna go ahead and plant more of this. I was hoping it would spread and I would divide it, and I probably can. It looks like it's getting big enough, but I just might find more of it because it's pretty inexpensive. You can buy it by the pack, and then I can grow it out and plant it into my garden. Now, since I already have it here in my vegetable garden, there might be some spots out there that I can put it in because it does have nice green foliage and they're beautiful leaves, so that would work out in my other garden. You stay there. These were the new plants that I bought when I was in Kingman, and I did plant out some seeds, but nothing has sprouted just yet. Well, I'm glad some things are leafing out and looking good. I'm ready for the season to start. It's still a bit chilly, but this won't last forever. Anyways, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me during this tour. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. And if you want to check out more videos, they'll be right over here. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so there. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. Mwah. I should probably put up this hose though, so no one trips on it. Okay.